I guess I'm not going to be drinking wine for a while. I'm going on vacation, going on a cruise, or I'm going to upstate New York to visit some family. What do you mean you're not going to be drinking any wine? You can turn any place in this world and 48 out of 50 states into the United States of America into a wine vacation as well as a relaxing vacation. Hi, I'm Larry Baker. I am a certified level 2 sommelier and a senior wine and spirits specialist here at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits in my hometown, beautiful downtown West Sunrise, Florida. So, I'm going to be gone for a while. I don't think I'm going to be doing a blog for a couple of weeks, but if you check out my social media handles on Twitter or Instagram at Larry Wine Guy, you might see it. And of course, when I get back, you might see my daily uploads to social media because I'm going on a vacation. I'm going out finally. Captain Washington, the hero of the world of Washington State wines for 25 years, is finally going to make my first pilgrimage out to the state of Washington. And I hear a lot of people coming up into the summer months taking vacation and thinking that, only California, Napa Valley, and that's it. That's where we can go visit some wineries or Sonoma or Paso Robles, anywhere in California. That's the wine country, right? But every country could be a wine country, and I wanted to demonstrate that, some of the examples wherever you're going. Okay, so starting off with number one, of course, if you're in Italy, a lot of people love to go to Venice. Well, in Venice, in that area, in that northeastern corner, in Canigliano or the Valdobbiadene region, you've got the heart of the Prosecco Superiore region. This is Colalto Prosecco. She's a real live princess, Princess Isabella Colalto. So you could possibly call them up or arrange to see if you can visit or take some kind of tour, or at least stop off and maybe they have a tasting room in Susegana. And while you're in Venice, yeah, you can go on the gondolas and all that, but you can also maybe make it into a Prosecco vacation and visit a real live princess castle, and they have a bed and breakfast there, so I know you can stay there, and you can turn that into a wine vacation in Italy, not just a romantic trip to Venice. Let's say you're going to Portugal. Well, maybe you should go to Croft, or one of the great producers of Porto, in the Porto region of Port. This is a tawny port from Croft. Has that raisiny. You can see what a fortified wine, the way they do it, the way that they kill the sugar or kill the yeast so that the sugar can remain, and how they bring the alcohol up to a minimum level of 18 years. And plus there's great wineries to visit in the Douro that aren't fortified wine. So if you're even in that Portugal area, at least make one of the days to visit certain areas of the Douro, or in Porto, go visit a winery. This 1999 port from Croft, the Tawny Reserve Asian oak, is fantastic. Of course, if you are in Washington State, where I'm going, even if you don't want to go to Easton, Washington, which is 3.5 hours, 4 hours, 5 away from Seattle, all the way into the eastern part of the Cascade Mountains, where the wineries physically are, most of them will have some sort of representation or tasting area in the Woodinville or Soto area, south of downtown kind of area in Seattle, which will represent that winery. I know that in Woodinville, Mr. John Bookwalter from J. Bookwalter Winery has a tasting room there in Richland, in the eastern part of Washington and Tri-Cities, and Caleb Foster is a winemaker, but you can see some lovely people in their Woodinville tasting room. And while you're in Seattle, you're only about 20 minutes away from downtown Seattle to go out to their tasting room in Woodinville and stop by and say hello to the people who make this notebook blend. This is a non-vintage wine, but they make other great wines. It's up to the winemaker, Caleb Foster, to decide what grapes from what years and what blend. Every year it's a different taste, and that's why notebook. Really fun little wine, but there's other great wines. Caleb Foster, one of the greatest winemakers in the world. You won't meet Caleb unless he happens to be in Seattle that weekend, but you'll certainly be able to taste their wines and join their mailing lists and clubs, things like that. Make Washington into a wine vacation. I'm going to be a tourist in Washington. I'm going up that Space Needle, but I'm also going to make it into a wine permit. You're going upstate New York. Well, what about in the Finger Lakes region? Finger Lakes region makes some amazing wine. This is a Riesling. They also make great ice wines from the Wagner family estate. this one's on clearance in this store, the Riesling, but there's so many great wineries in that Finger Lakes region in New York, right on the other side of the Canadian border, the Niagara Peninsula. And this Wagner Riesling is delicious, but so are their ice wines are right up there, with the Canadian ice wines using the same grapes, either Vidal or Riesling, and you can make New York, a trip to New York, upstate New York, or Canada, into a wine vacation. Also, if you go to visit the lovely areas of Jerusalem and Israel and that lovely state of Israel, and you're out of the country, you go, well, I'm going to Israel, I want to see the Wailing Wall, so do I, and you want to see and you want to enjoy all of Israel, Tel Aviv, but why not? This is some of the best wines in the world. I've always talked about Domaine de Castel. See if you need an appointment there. This is the 2014 of the Petit Castel, considered by some the Grand Vin of this winery. Is considered the Domaine de Castel Grand Vin is considered the Chateau Lafite of Israel, and this is the Petit Castel. It's always a Merlot blend, so whenever the dominant grape is Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon, less Cabernet than Merlot, it's always the finest here. It's in the Judean hills. It's right near, not far from Jerusalem there, so you can visit. There's some great winery in the Golan Heights. You can make Israel, sure, a wonderful historic vacation that you'll remember for your life, but you could also still turn it into seeing some of the best wines made in the world. So for further information on these wines, you know how to do it. You go to our website at abcfws.com, or you can reach out to me via this blog by following this blog, or now you know my handle on Instagram or Twitter, at Larry Wine Guy, and there's lots of ways to get in touch with me. So remember, happy Father's Day, which you probably had after you saw this video, so I hope you had a great Father's Day. Remember, wine is not for snobs. It's for everyday people like you and me, and people who are going on vacation and also want to drink some wine as well.